Hello, BookTube. This is a review of Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. I know I'm very late to the party on this book, but sometimes it can be good to read backlist books. This book is now 20 years old. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell is a novel set in Regency, England. It was published in 2004. It centers around the two title characters. In the novel, magic has been absent from England for over 200 years, and no one is certain why. There are no practical magicians left. All that is left of England's magical tradition are the theoretical magicians who study the history of magic, and street peddlers who do tricks for pennies. Hidden away for decades in Yorkshire is a man who aims to change that. Mr. Norrell is the first practical magician in centuries. With his wealth, he has collected an immense library of rare magical texts. He goes around crushing the careers of theoretical magicians and establishing a monopoly on magic before taking center stage in London as England's chief magician. Soon, however, another gentleman establishes himself in his good graces and becomes his pupil. This is Jonathan Strange. Also attaching themselves to Mr. Norrell are Mr. Norrell's main servant, who helps him do his dirty work, and two men who have no magical talent but who are eager to show him around London and to become his advisors and gatekeepers to his company, neither of whom is of good character. Mr. Norrell, over time, proves himself to be controlling, self-obsessed, and proud. Strange is brave but impulsive, sometimes charming, and at other times an unreasonably angry man. He is attached to his wife and is also partial to his friends, the Poles. After Norrell faces a moral choice, which he bungles, the story grows to revolve around a mysterious set of miserable happenings. Different people have different amounts of information about these happenings. These people must all play their part in ending the misery. The book is a historical fantasy, and the historical side of the writing is not neglected. Regency England and other time periods referenced seem well researched. I'm not very familiar with the Napoleonic Wars, but what I do know seems mostly accurately represented, except for what is changed for the sake of fantasy. The writing style is crisp, historically inspired, and very English. To give a quick example of the writing style without spoilers, Chapter 1 begins with a description of some of the theoretical magicians. Quote, "Some years ago, there was in the city of York a society of magicians. They met upon the third Wednesday of every month and read each other dull papers on the history of English magic." Unquote. The story is written almost as a Victorian history. Victorian histories I looked at for a class in college were narratives and read more like novels than some histories today. There are historical attitudes towards Asians, Black people, Indigenous people, Jews, and women represented, as is to be expected because it's accurate to the time period. Although I don't get the sense that the author agrees with these attitudes. The women characters particularly are lovely, but are given less attention and respect than male characters by the mostly male cast. The story moves at a slow to medium pace, but never becomes boring. The audiobook is about 32 and a half hours, or over 1,000 pages long, so it is a commitment. I give this book 4 stars for being good and worthwhile, the same as I would give for a historical nonfiction book that didn't change my life. It's well done. For my personal taste, if the main characters had been more likable, it could have raised the rating to 4.5 stars, but the characters needed to be who they were for the story to work. Please like if you enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching. Bye.